Apple Vision Pro, Apple's VR and AR headset, was released in February and is already creating enormous buzz in retail. There's no doubt we can call it the main consumer tech launch in 2024 so far. The stakes are this technology might be a catalyst to create a more immersive brand experience online and in-store and completely change the way we shop. But will it? Here's Paula Macaggi and this is episode 12 of my show. Welcome to OFFBounds. In this episode, we'll be looking at how and why Apple Vision Pro might impact the retail industry and reach more customers and be more profitable. The retail industry is always trying to catch up with the latest trends and be updated with the latest technology in order to reach more customers and increase competitive advantage. This means investing in streamlining processes, unified commerce capabilities including AI and other ways of customer engagement like spatial computing such as VR and AR. But this investment comes with some concerns as company leaders remember how the Metaverse hype faded away. In late 2021, right after Facebook changed its company name to Meta, retailers were racing to have a Metaverse presence. Adidas, Nestle, Walmart, and LVMH are some of the brands who have ventured into the virtual world experiences. But it turned out the vision that excited executives didn't work as planned. And in 2023, facing increasing economic pressures and in front of the rising prominence of artificial intelligence, the hype about the Metaverse has cooled down. Still, its concept remains robust and platforms like Fortnite, Roblox, and Minecraft drawing hundreds of millions each month and pioneering Metaverse tech finding its place across a variety of sectors. With the Vision Pro's capability, the Metaverse is poised to become more interactive and immersive. A McKinsey report about how consumers see the Metaverse showed that consumers are less excited about walking through digital stores than about Metaverse applications augmenting the physical world shopping experience. And that's what Apple Vision Pro and future products based on this kind of technology might achieve. Apple's VR and AR headset is considered the first device to really intertwine digital and real world, creating astonishing and captivating experiences. While VR creates a completely immersive environment, AR overlays virtual elements onto the real world. Specialists believe these augmented reality glasses can not only bring the Metaverse back to the discussion by creating a competitive or even complementary omni-channel commerce option. I've talked to some specialists about it. DeAnn Campbell, consultant and fellow retail expert, has this optimistic view about Apple Vision Pro impact on the Metaverse. Let's hear what she has to say about it.
Absolutely. Certainly put it back on the radar. And I think that's especially because it's coming from Apple. And Apple has traditionally been a company that we've thought of as ethical, much more ethical than Meta or Facebook as it used to be called. And so the fact that it's Apple that's done this has made people sit up and start to take notice again. Think about more the ways that it can be.
Neil Reading, consultant and specialist in spatial computing, has a very different opinion.
I do not think it's going to bring back, it hasn't been bringing back really kind of the Metaverse term. And I don't think it's going to bring back that hype, or the term really either. I think Apple has very carefully chosen the term spatial computing. You will not ever hear the term Metaverse coming out of Apple. They're very intentionally carving out a different space and a different part of the public conversation about these immersive technologies. And so it's not about these massive multiplayer immersive game-like spaces, but rather it's about what practical value can spatial computing add to each of us in our everyday, both as shoppers, as consumers, and also as managers and associates in retail stores. And of course, many other use cases beyond retail. But in the context of retail, those are the benefits, yeah.
According to John Shapiro, Chief Products Technology Officer of software company Lightspeed, in an interview published at Forbes, Apple Vision Pro allows retailers to interact with an entirely new manner that was previously unavailable in the physical space of a store, on television, or from a home computer. He adds a whole new dimension to omnichannel retail that provides a range of benefits to consumers and retailers alike. Carl Boutet, strategist and lecturer at McGill University and Asian Institute of Technology, has a very strong opinion about it.
So Apple Vision Pro is the disruptor. And I don't like using that word so often because it is often overused, but not in the way that most of us are thinking, because it's not the Apple Vision Pro itself that's going to disrupt. It's the direction that it's taking us in and the future that it's showing us, the same way that first generation mobility and any other sort of consumer electronic?
I think ultimately virtual reality is going to be the technology that truly unifies the retail industry. We've talked about omnichannel, now we're talking about unified retail, but doing that really is hard when you have online and offline. The realities of physical versus digital are always going to be there.
Some say Apple Vision Pro may entice and transform the way we shop, from personalized product visualization and virtual try-on experiences to bridging the gap between online and offline retail. Let's hear what Jeffrey Roberts, retail strategic consultant, has to say about it.
I think technologies like augmented reality glasses, they can be a bridge between online and offline. I think as there's a greater push towards blurring channel access and again, just following the customer wherever they happen to be, it's an opportunity to just add another touch point.
How brands are creating shopping experience for Apple Vision Pro AR and VR glasses are already finding various applications in the retail industry. They are used to enhance the in-store experience by providing interactive product information, enabling virtual try-on of apparel and accessories, and offering immersive visualizations of how products would look in a customer's home. Additionally, retailers are leveraging augmented reality glasses for tasks like inventory management, employee training, and enhancing in-store layouts for better customers' engagement. For example, Walmart has used the MetaQuest VR headset to immersively train employees in realistic scenarios, such as Black Friday store crowds. And action sports lifestyle gear retailer Evo has trained seasonal warehouse workers with Pixana 360-degree VR devices. Lowe's has created a digital twin solution based on NVIDIA's Omniverse Metaverse environment that is accessible by Magic Leap 2 augmented reality headsets. But spatial computing promises to take this one step forward. Imagine purchasing your dream couch or home appliances with no fear of having to return an item that doesn't suit your decor, because you've already seen it in your home and it looks perfect. And all this without having to leave the comfort of your home. Or choosing the best outfits for a vacation in France while being in front of the Eiffel Tower. Or having unprecedented and personalized experiences while in-store shopping. It might look like science fiction, but some things are quite real already. I've asked Neil Reading how Apple Vision Pro could enhance the customer shopping experience and why this is important. And that's what he told me.
There are retailers and brands that have been experimenting with virtual stores for years. One example that almost everybody in retail I think is probably aware of is there's a company called Obsess, right? Has been working with top brands to build virtual storefronts for many years. And a lot of people, a lot of shoppers encounter these virtual storefronts in a web browser, so on a laptop or a computer or even a mobile phone. And so that allows them to have sort of the experience of a virtual store wherever they are, and the benefit of being able to see products and rotate them in 3 dimensions, things like that. But Obsess has been working with a few retailers to actually bring those virtual stores to the Vision Pro, which makes sense. I mean, they kind of support all the headsets and all the phones and devices. But those include Elf Cosmetics and J. Crew and a few others, brands that you would know, so that you can, inside the Vision Pro, have this experience of looking around and, seeing the product and moving through the space. And so whether large numbers of people will want to shop that way, I don't know. I think that's an open question. But I also expect that there are other kinds of use cases that we haven't discovered yet that the Vision Pro is going to be useful for. There are a lot of retailers that use headsets of various kinds for back of house, or warehouse work or restocking and things like that. That I think Vision Pro is probably overkill for this at this moment for that kind of thing. It's not ruggedized. It's not it's kind of too expensive, frankly. I mean, to be used in quantity. But I do think over time, the successors to the Vision Pro, I mean, it's just the first in the line of many devices, are going to be impactful for all these different use cases.
Many brands in different retail segments have already launched an app for Apple Vision Pro. We call these companies early adopters because they are diving in this new technology and just experimenting.
I think early adopter companies are thinking about virtual reality in many, many ways. How it can expand their capabilities without adding costs is a big important factor. If you think about a retailer, looking to open stores. Opening stores is very expensive. Building up a social media presence, that is time consuming. It takes time to establish that. Virtual reality has the ability to cut through that, to reduce the costs of opening stores and to reduce the time it takes to build up a social media presence on any given platform or a number of platforms. And so I think as companies start to see Apple doing these great things and getting that conversation going again, it naturally results in them starting to think about all the ways that they can be using it, which is really where the content engine starts to get greased and starts to really produce all of the things that populate the metaverse and making it really great for consumer use.
So I think early adopters, we're probably going to see expansions of things that we've already seen with existing AR applications. So being able to see things in situ, for example, so furniture purchases, larger item purchases, white goods, etc., I think could be quite useful on that front. I think for particularly clothing retailer, there's an opportunity there for early try-on, try before you buy, getting an understanding of what might be possible before you actually make the investment. But again, I see broadly a niche application here as the hardware is currently structured.
And the way that we sort of build these assets, they could be our products on our e-commerce sites, they could be our showrooms, they could be all the ways that we try to promote what it is that we have to sell is now going to have to be thought about in a more 3D conceptual environment that what spatial computing is meant to be. The technology isn't there yet, but for the early adopters, and that is the key piece, that's the first people in that curve, that 2.5 to 5% of the market that are going to get ahead of this and understand that the digital assets that they're developing need to be conceived for this future. That they will have an opportunity to get ahead and at least build out sort of the processes of thinking, okay, now my shirt or my sofa or my sporting equipment needs to live more than a flat file on an e-commerce site.
Porsche AG has just launched a custom race engineer cockpit app for Apple Vision Pro alongside the launch of the Taycan Turbo GT. The app lets the spectator be right there at the racetrack watching the view from the car. The athleisure and lifestyle brand Alo Yoga launched an app that immerses users in nature and lets them enjoy a range of meditations before being presented with new products from the brand. Elf Cosmetics launched a gaming-like experience-centered app that encourages enjoyment and relaxation through exercise of the body and mind, and also allow purchases throughout displaying products. On fashion, J.Crew has launched an app with a mannequin displayed in different clothes and styles that can be set up in different real-life settings. The luxury brand My Theresa is the only in the segment to provide an immersive shopping experience for Vision Pro users. The brand invites viewers to shop in virtual Capri beachside or Paris at night settings, complete with the sound of lapping waves and seagulls, or a photorealistic 3D Eiffel Tower. For obvious reasons, furniture brands are also experimenting in this new environment. The American retail company Lowe's, specializing in home improvement, announced an app which allows consumers to use the Vision Pro to meet with an immersive 3D kitchen. They can choose from preset designs created by stylists or create custom designs from their own selections of materials, fixtures, and appliances. But you might be asking how this is going to make retail more profitable. First, leading to fewer product returns by giving online shoppers a more complete and accurate understanding of the product. Second, more conversions. According to a Total Retail article, interacting with products via AR leads to 94% higher purchase conversion rate. A great example of how a brand can enhance online shopping experiences with AR is IKEA's mobile app. It allows users to place furniture from the retailer's catalog in their home or office and examine all the details like it's in front of them. Spatial computing technology might take this experience to a more immersive and realistic level. But it's not only a possible game changer for online shopping. Apple Vision Pro opens up a huge range of possibilities in retail omnichannel strategy. For example, you can elevate in-store experiences by making shopping innovative, more interactive, and personalized, leading to increased customer engagement and sales. Retailers can create personalized experiences or environments for customers that go to the store wearing Apple's device. In the future, Apple Vision Pro could serve as an effective platform for retailers to create digital twins, photorealistic, interactive digital replicas of the stores and warehouses. DeAnn has a very interesting vision on how this kind of technology might impact customer service. Let's hear it.
Customer service is another area where I think retailers are starting to get very excited and could really stand to benefit. Oddly enough, I see virtual reality as bringing the humanity back into customer service. So right now, customer service is it's often a bot. And so you're talking to a bot through a text. And it's a very frustrating experience. It's hard to describe in words without, I'm a hand talker. How do you describe something without using your hands, without using your facial experience, with just using your words? Some people are better at that than others. Now with virtual reality, you can go into the metaverse and actually sit down at a desk with a customer service agent, either an avatar that's well-trained through artificial intelligence, or a live person that's sitting in their own living room, and they're able to go to that same desk and sit down with you, and you can actually hold up the product in the metaverse and tell them what's not working for you. You can sit down with an expert and get one-on-one training on how to use a product. You can get an expert to show you how to style your hair in the morning with your new Dyson hairdryer. All of these things suddenly make your experience with a product, the retailer, a really delightful and satisfying experience. And I think that is the power of virtual reality.
So what is the future of Apple Vision Pro? That's the big question. And nobody has the clear answer, because if you would have asked me 30 years ago, what's the future of Palm Pilot, would have I been able to tell you that it's going to be something that I can grab a cab with, that I could book my hotel and pay with, and that I could even use it as a health tech tracker? Probably not. So listen, science fiction has brought us a lot of interesting ideas around how we can think about the future of spatial computing. I go back to that question about, is our future going to be more digital? Which, by the way, doesn't make it less physical. That's one of the things a lot of people sort of kind of go, wow, people still want to shop in person. Absolutely.
There's no doubt Apple Vision Pro has the potential to be a true catalyst for a retail revolution. So far, it's an impressive but incomplete first-generation product. Critics say that Apple Vision Pro is too heavy, bulky, intrusive, and expensive to achieve mass adoption at this time. Boutet agrees, but he also weighs that this is pretty much the start of every new technology.
They're right. The Apple Vision Pro is not the device that is going to make this technology ubiquitous. It's not the Apple Vision Pro is too big, is too heavy, is too expensive, and is not going to be a mass adoption product. I don't think Apple intended for it to be. So the comparisons like with the first Apple phone aren't very good, because people say, well, look at the first phone. It wasn't that, it was highly adopted. It was highly subsidized, which these are not two attributes of this. What this is, a technology vision that shows us of what's to come. And yes, there's only a couple of 100,000 people that are going to be probably using this first version regularly, and there'll be a very specific use case. But it points to, more importantly, it points to a future of where the technology can bring us, how it can bring us, and it's definitely going to evolve, definitely going to change. And the same way that your father's brick phone is no longer what he carries around today will be the same.
Well, I would say that those are the same people that complained about the first cell phones. I mean, they were huge. They were called the brick because that's how much they weighed. They were, they had pictures of supermodels holding these massive things, and the supermodels looked like 2-year-olds because the phones were so large. And yet that didn't stop anybody. And now today, 3/4 of the world's population have a cell phone of some kind, and we don't think twice about it. So the beginning of any new technology, and customer behavior changes, the purchase patterns, the way we engage with the world. Anytime you're asking someone to make a major change to that, there's going to be resistance, and a lot of it. And this is no exception. So I would say to those people that just, if you don't wear it if you don't want to, but someday you're probably going to have some access to virtual reality. So never say never.
It will no doubt get smaller and easier to use. I think the issue will always be, where are the applications that would make them far-reaching? Now, being an application that keeps you tied to home is not necessarily a bad thing. And I think we need to review things in terms of success doesn't have to mean everywhere. Owning a niche can be a very, very profitable place to operate.
Some believe Apple Vision Pro will also open the path for a new career, spatial computing development. We
have a studio here called Felix and Paul. You look them up. They do some of the coolest AR stuff. Like, they did stuff with, they did a really immersive AR experience with the space station with NASA, where you could feel like you're in the space station walking around and stuff like that. So, yeah, the possibilities are endless. People are not thinking much about like the Disney investment in Real is huge, because that's exactly what they're thinking about. They're wondering about this environment that's going to be, more and more sort of spatial, right? And that's, you need that talent. You need those people that think that way, that don't just think about a big flat screen anymore and think about how things live around you.
According to research company Global Data, the AR headsets market is expected to record a compound annual growth rate of 56.3% between 2022 and 2030, as new devices continue to be introduced in the market and new use cases emerge. Being an early adopter of spatial computing and the Vision Pro might come with many challenges for retailers, but also benefits like having a competitive advantage and position themselves as a leader in their industry. New Reading actually has some advice for how brands can enter this new era of spatial computing.
There are a couple of different ways that brands and retailers can get started and take advantage of the opportunities that spatial computing offers. So one simple thing to say, and this has really been true for many years, and I think many brands and retailers and manufacturers have already been doing this, is create high-resolution 3D models of the products that you have. Now, this is easier for sort of rigid home goods, furniture, and things like this than it would be, say, for clothing or apparel. But many, many products have the ability to be modeled in 3 dimensions, and then that makes it much easier to present these products in a virtual context so that people can be in a virtual space and navigate and rotate and interact with these products this way. So that's one area, sort of start to look at how 3D can help you present and products for shopping to retail to customers. The other aspect is quite different, but also related to spatial computing, is if you have a store that is, any physical store, you can start to look at technologies like that from Alki Labs. There are other companies as well. HyperAR is one that can map your physical store and then create an invisible 3D coordinate system that can help apps that are built on top of that provide navigation from where you are as a user of a mobile app to where a product is, where a product should be. Can also support apps that are built targeted at shoppers to help shoppers find what they're looking for faster, find promoted items, find specific products by SKU, by name, and then start to experiment with how these kinds of experiences can really optimize retail task management as well as shopper experience in the store. So this is something that I have a lot of experience with and do with clients as well, and have done for the years. So definitely happy to speak to anybody who wants to reach out.
Everyone seems to agree that Apple Vision Pro will have a huge impact all over the retail industry. Little by little, companies are developing apps designed specifically for Apple Vision Pro and spatial computing in general. As soon, there will be other companies launching gadgets with this sort of technology, but specialists also stress that this is just the beginning of an even more unified retail. Quoting DeAnn here, an immersive shopping experience is bridging the gap between online and in-store shopping, but it might take some time until we face a real technological revolution. And what's your opinion? Do you think Apple Vision Pro will be a disruptor and change retail, or will it be just another fad and eventually fade away? Let me know in the comments or reach out to me on LinkedIn. This is all for today. See you next week.